Italy, the land of luxury fashion, Ferrari, pizza, art, history, romance, and some of the greatest cities ever built. For decades, Italy was considered one of the most powerful economies in Europe and one of the richest cultures on earth. But today, something unusual is happening. Factories are closing. Young people are leaving the country. Debt is piling up at shocking levels. And slowly, silently, Italy is starting to look less like a booming European powerhouse and more like a struggling economy desperately trying to stay afloat. So what went wrong? And more importantly, is Italy really on the path toward economic collapse? Or is this decline still reversible? Let's find out. Section 1. The rise that no one talks about. To understand why Italy is struggling today, we need to go back to a time when Italy was actually exploding with success. After World War II, Italy went through what historians now call the Italian economic miracle. Between the 1950s and 1980s, factories opened everywhere. Highways, rail, ports, everything expanded. Millions of jobs were created. Italy transformed from a poor, war-damaged country into one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. Luxury brands like Gucci, Prada, Armani, Versace dominated global fashion. Ferrari and Lamborghini symbolized Italian engineering. Tourism flourished. Italy was modern, ambitious, confident. But underneath all that success, a dangerous habit was forming. The Italian government slowly began spending far more money than it actually had. Instead of fixing structural problems, it borrowed and borrowed and borrowed. At first, nobody worried. The economy was booming. Borrowing felt harmless. But like every debt story in history, eventually, the bill always arrives. Section 2. The debt trap. Fast forward to today. Italy now has one of the largest public debts in the world compared to its economic size. Think about what this means before a single euro is spent on schools, hospitals, infrastructure, innovation, jobs. Billions must first be paid just to cover interest. Not the debt, just interest. Imagine earning a salary of 50,000 rupees a month, but owing 70,000 rupees every month on loans. You would survive for a while, then slowly, life would become impossible. That's exactly where Italy is. And then something else happened that changed everything. Italy joined the Eurozone, which meant no more printing its own currency, no more devaluing to stay competitive. Before the euro, if Italy struggled, it could cheapen its currency, making exports cheaper and reviving growth. After the euro, that option disappeared. Italy was now playing by strict European rules, while still carrying decades of bad economic habits. The perfect storm was slowly forming. Section 3. The people crisis. Economies are not just money, they are people. And Italy's real crisis is demographic. Italy is now one of the oldest countries in the world. Fewer young people, more elderly citizens needing pensions and health care. That means fewer workers paying taxes, more pressure on government spending, less innovation. But it gets worse. Millions of young Italians, smart, educated, ambitious, are leaving. They are moving to Germany, France, the UK, Canada, the United States. Anywhere they can find better jobs, higher salaries, and more opportunities. This phenomenon has a name: brain drain. Italy spends years educating students, and then those students build futures somewhere else. The result? Fewer startups, lower productivity, slower economic growth, fewer chances to compete globally. The cycle repeats. No jobs, people leave, fewer workers, weaker economy, even fewer jobs. Section 4. The struggle of small businesses. Most of Italy's economy is built on small, family-owned businesses, shops, restaurants, workshops, local factories. But today, these businesses face a mountain of problems. High taxes, complicated regulations, expensive labor rules, slow government processes. Many companies either shut down or move production abroad where costs are lower. That means fewer local jobs. Entire towns begin to shrink. Young people move to big cities or leave the country completely. The heart of Italy's economy, the small entrepreneur, is being squeezed from every direction, and slowly, confidence disappears. Section 5. So, is Italy becoming third world? Here's the big question everyone is afraid to ask. Is Italy really becoming a third world economy? The honest answer is no. Italy is still wealthy compared to many countries. It remains part of the G7. It has world-class brands. It is culturally and historically priceless. But economically, Italy is stuck. Too much debt, too few young workers, too little innovation, too many years of avoiding difficult reforms. And every year that passes without real change, the situation gets a little harder to fix. Section 6. Is there still hope? Yes. Italy's story is not over. Countries have recovered from worse situations before. But recovery will require bold decisions, encouraging family growth and immigration so the workforce doesn't collapse. Supporting startups and technology instead of over-regulating them. Simplifying rules for small businesses so they can breathe again. And most importantly, learning to manage debt responsibly. Because history teaches one very simple lesson: economies do not fail overnight. They weaken slowly. And stories like this, stories about power, decline, and the forces shaping our world, are happening everywhere, right now. If you want to understand what's really going on beneath the headlines, make sure you subscribe to GeoLens. Because geopolitics isn't just about countries, it's about where the world is heading next.